Webbed Wings, What's So Funny is making me nostalgic for a decade that I wasn't even around for. I don't have a single waking memory prior to the year 2000, but still, I put on this album and I'm like, oh, I miss the 90s. Before we start talking about this album, I want to welcome you to the Disc Barn, where I review pop punk and pop punk adjacent music and its physical formats. I love this genre. I'm always excited to talk about my favorite albums in it, starting right now with Webbed Wings, What's So Effing Funny. This album came out in 2021, but I just got the vinyl record a few days ago. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a very high quality print of the album artwork and the song titles on the back with the bonus picture. Inside, we've got a lyric sheet with all the songs and their lyrics and some thank yous and production notes from the band, as long as two bonus pictures there. And for the record sleeve, we've got this picture of the clown from the cover, and on the back, the album title. This is where the record would go. I do not have it in here. I put it in a separate sleeve that also fits in the album. So I've got this on just a plain old pink pressing, nothing special going on here. However, it sounds amazing on vinyl. It sounds just like it does on streaming, and I'm sure it sounds the same on CD. So whoever did the mixing and mastering and engineering to get this sounding the way it does on vinyl did a great job, and I'm really happy with this pressing. All right, next we're going to hop on over to my trusty Excel sheet so I can give you my terrible opinion on each and every track on this record, and then we'll rank them. Let's go. This album opens up with Years, one of my favorite tracks on the record. Slow and rough descending vocals complement the distorted guitars in this track. It's one of the most hopeful songs on the record lyrically, and midway through there's a cute guitar riff that I really enjoy. Starts the album off on a high note. I really love this track. It's definitely an S tier song from me. Jesus' Age is the next song. Don't be fooled by the guitar strumming or the hopeful melody. This is a very, very depressing song. The lyrics are dark and moody, but it's so catchy because it's got that folk tinge to it, or that country feel to this track. It tricks you. It really tricks you, and you're bobbing your head along to some real downer lyrics. For that reason, this is a real highlight for me. I love this song. It's S tier. It's my favorite track on the record as well. This next song, Make a Dime, has some grungy guitars plodding along as Taylor waxes poetic about a feeling. It's told like a story, and it's about letting go, doing things for yourself, and forgetting the rest. I get a lot out of this song lyrically. I think it's really strong, and it's definitely an A tier for me. This next song, Dreams Come True, would sound right at home on a Social Distortion record or a Mike Neese album. Uh, it's got that country and folk tinge that is peppered in this album that I really love. It's a nice change of pace, and Taylor gets to really shine and show what he can do vocally. This is a very different song than we've heard so far on this record, and it's a very nice change of pace. Lyrically, I think it tells a pretty layered story about wanting to support someone's dreams, but being so crippled with fear that you're afraid of any change, and the things that you need to do to support that person become impossible. I think that's a really neat message to have in this song, and it's delivered very well. This is another A tier track for me. This song, For Real, is about non-conforming, but instead of being angry, it's a very slow, deliberate track with a really nice chorus that at first I thought was saying, I won't wear a dress. It's actually saying, I want to wear a dress, which changes the meaning a whole lot here. This is another great song, and it's an A tier track for me, just behind Make a Dime. The song Need You Around is atmospheric and haunting, but also agonizingly slow. For that reason, it's not one of my favorite tracks, even though the lyrics, I think, do have a lot to say. But this is a B tier track for me. The next track, Old Times, is straight out of the 90s. It's got a very catchy hook, and this is one of my favorite tracks on the record. It's going to be an A tier track for me. The song Same Thing to Me has lyrics that hit a little too close to home. What's too bad about this is I think the vocals get lost in the mix. And on top of that, it sounds like Taylor is sleeping through this song. Um, Definitely one of the weaker tracks on the album, but still, it's a B tier. It's far from terrible, just not something that I'm always dying to listen to. Taylor's theme is a purely instrumental track. It's haunting, it's very atmospheric, and for me, it's anxiety inducing. Got some great guitar work. Um, this song just doesn't do a lot for me. It's my least favorite track. I'm a guy who really likes vocals, so whenever it's just an instrumental track, I'm not going to get a ton from it. So I'm going to put this in B tier. I still think it's good. Just my least favorite on the album. The chord progression on Saturdays feels very similar to the one on Years. I think it's just slightly altered version of the same chord progression, but it's still very catchy. I like the story it tells about family and cleaning and mom coming over. Pretty simple song, but I really enjoy it. This is easily an A tier track for me. I put it just behind For Real. The track All I Could Ever Want is certainly the most unique track on this album. Unfortunately, it's not one of my favorites. The lyrics are about as dark as we get. I have to think they're tongue in cheek because they're a little goofy and over the top. Still a good song. I like this song, just far from my favorite on this album. It's going just above Taylor's theme. It's my least favorite non-instrumental track on the record. If you weren't convinced that this album is just as much country as it is grunge, Shed a Tear has a harmonica in it. A very cool change of pace. Really makes this track stand out. I think it's a excellent way to end the record. It sure is a downer ending. The lyrics are very depressing, but just like the rest of the album, this has a very head boppable, catchy melody as the chorus, and even in the verses, they're very catchy. You'll be wondering why you're nodding your head to a song about depression. This song is an A tier for me. It's going to be the last of the A tiers, fitting for the last track on this record. So that's every song on Web Wings What's So Effing Funny ranked and reviewed. Thank you for joining me at the Disc Barn, where I review pop punk and pop punk adjacent music and their physical formats. I love this genre, so you can expect me to give all of these albums a fair shot. I'd love to share my terrible opinions with you. If you have any terrible opinions you want to share with me about this record, let me know what you thought. I'd love to read about them in the comments. And please give this video a like and subscribe to me if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more just like it. Until then, I will see you guys next time.